again, welcome back to the Inner Alchemy. And this is what week 4. Right. So if I can recognize how my body feels, I can predict how I will react. If I can predict how I will react, I am pretty much aware of what the outcome is going to be. So I want to go deeper in this because there is two aspects to this part. There is one aspect which is the somatic, and there is one aspect which is the cognitive. So let's go. From a somatic point of view, I now want you to do something very, very, very cool. So you got your sad child, you got your angry child, but you got your panic, you got your fear. So on the somatic level, we got the panic and we got the fear. Sorry, we got the panic and we got the rage on the somatic level. Now, what I want you to do, I want you to identify them. So when you have a moment of panic, I want you to stop. I want you to focus on the feeling. Thus, if you want, you can do it also after the moment has passed. Because all it takes is to rehearse in your mind an event that trigger your panic, for the panic to come back. Which is great because that means I can analyze the situation in my body simply by rehearsing a circumstance that triggered that feeling, and that feeling will come back again. That means that you can do this all over again. Not because you want to traumatize yourself all over again, but simply because you want to get so acquainted to your reaction that you no longer fear them. Or better to say, they no longer unconscious. So, this is how I want you to do. I want you to take the moment of panic. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to take a deep breath. And I want you to identify what is the shape. What is the shape located? And we know where it's going to be located, but what is the shape? What is the color? Is it smooth or is it sharp? Does it cut? Is it hot or is it cold? Does it move or it is still? What is there any noise attached to it? Is there any sound attached to it? And you do this for both panic and rage. Why is that? Because at that point in time, you're almost going to have something not only to feel, but to look at. Not only to allow the feeling to come and recognize it, but now you recognize even the shape and the color. And you will be more than professionally able to recognize when they swap, when they dare, how long they stay, also called the refractory period. Okay, and this is on the somatic level. On the somatic level, I want you to identify, be acquainted so much with those feelings that you know exactly how not only it feels in the body, but also how it looks in the body, where is it in the body, the temperature that brings, the color that is. Then, on a somatic level, we will be able to have such a clear idea that is like if that you can just simply see the color changing there. Okay. Now, earlier on I said that if I can recognize how my body feels, I can predict the way I react. If I can predict the way I react, I can predict the outcome. Now, all of this now form parts of the cognitive aspect of it. But what I want you to do on the cognitive side, it is pretty much simple because if every time that there is a feeling I react the same way, that means that the feeling determines my reaction, and that means that if the feeling are unconscious, so are the reaction unconscious. So what do we need to do? Well, if I don't know about it because it's unconscious, it's set in my body, and every time that my body feels like that, my choices, therefore my cognitive response is the same. My defense mechanism that I employ, shout, scream, implosion, explosion, whatever, whether you are punching someone or the wall, whether you are isolating yourself, doesn't matter. However there is, we can start now bringing it up, pretty much like a fish underwater. So your unconscious is what is under the water, the conscious is what is above the water. So I want you now to imagine yourself that every time that you have those reactions in the body, it's like put down the lenses of the fishing rod, and now we bring it up out of the water. We want to see exactly what is that we do unconsciously and bring it to the conscious. Which basically what I'm asking you right now is to become conscious of the observation. The last time I told you, please, your sad child and your angry child, give it a name. So now we're giving it a shape, and now from a conscious level, we give it a shape. We give it a name. Why so important? Because we now are going to become a little bit more aware of what we're doing. So we are introducing the emotional side. We are introducing the reaction. We are introducing what we are using. So from next week, this is what we are going to do. We're going to be speaking mostly about the emotional aspect of it and how that affects the cognitive side. Let's put all the effort in the next 4 or 5 days into this. Let's get so acquainted of our body that we are ready to bring this all out in the open and no longer allow this to determine our life. Because until we react unconsciously, we are allowing something inside of us to determine the outcome, which means that we cannot enforce what we want. We are suffering what is inside of us. And what we are doing today, we are putting the foundation from next week to start taking it out and start finally to work on our future, because we are going slowly to stop what is inside of us to dictate our future. Because remember, although is a part of us, is not who we are. I am not my sad child. I am not my angry child. I am not my panic. I am not my rage. I suffered those feelings, and I suffered the reaction that I have selected for my feeling at the time when my rationality did not allow me to do a better job. Now I can. Now I will. Because now I build the future that I want, that I decide. I will see you next week.